Oh, this is the thing. What news you gave me, my friend? I was very thrilled, said Ganga. Speak slowly, even walls have ears. Don't let this matter be known in the office, said Saraswati, pressing Ganga's hand. Shrikant is so handsome, a body like he was sculpted in the gym. But when did all this happen? Ganga was even more curious. That news also was the same. That too about her only close friend. When Saraswati first saw Shrikant at the company's team meeting, her eyes were fixed on him, his tall body, his strong arms peeking out of his shirt. It was a sign that he was the result of gym training. On top of that, he had a trimmed beard, which was the latest fashion today. Saraswati was very fond of fashionable people. She was also a girl who kept up with the times. Shrikant's eyes were also fixed on her. Saraswati's slim body, attractive complexion, pearly teeth, confident, charming smile, long hair were enough to seduce the person in front of her. Her big black eyes matching gold framed glasses made her look even more attractive. Shrikant and Saraswati had been working together for 6 months. As much romance as possible had sprouted between them in the office. Their love, which started with a gesture of the eyes, later prompted both of them to sit and have dinner together. Sometimes they would go out for a walk in the evening in a less crowded part of Bangalore. Then they would go on an evening date and go to the cinema or go for dinner. Because there was no opportunity for this in the office, so they used to meet outside, but the opportunity for it was very rare. Saraswati and Shrikant's family was deeply religious. Even in the modern world of the 21st century, the shackles of religion are very tight. Apart from making their children independent, they are not allowed to take important decisions in their lives. There was very little hope that the family would approve of this relationship. It was not easy to cross the strong religious wall between the two. After moving so far on the path of romance, both of them decided to take their respective paths to the next level. But when it came to discussing who should propose marriage at home, both of them were confused. It was impossible to get approval in Saraswati's house. They did not believe that Shrikant's family would be ready for this marriage either. Both of them realized that the only way out of this situation was a registered marriage. Both of them filed a petition in the court, and after 1 month they secretly got married in the court itself. Now both the families could do nothing but take them to task. As they had predicted, it happened. When both the families came to know about the marriage, they scolded both of them. Both the mothers had to see tears. Their love was not weak at all. They could not return to their respective homes after losing sight of them. Shrikant and Saraswati moved forward with their love. Both of them rented a one-room flat in the same city. That was enough for them. The advantage of living in big cities is that in such a big city, one could easily get lost in the hustle and bustle. Even though they were in the same city, both of them were very far from their families. Saraswati and Shrikant shifted with so much luggage. They spent their weekends settling into their new home. They bought a second-hand sofa set and a round table. Saraswati delighted herself by placing a bouquet of artificial flowers on it. They both spent the night decorating the house, exhausted. Who will cook? Saraswati asked, laughing. Let's order food from outside today. After all this is settled, we both will take care of our responsibilities, said Shrikant's answer, which won Saraswati's heart. She felt it was right that she had married Shrikant against the wishes of her family. Today was the first night for the two, but their bed was undecorated. There was no soft bed, but their passionate minds had made them immersed in the intoxication of love. If the aroma of love attracted their minds, what was the need for external fragrances? Playing jokingly in each other's arms, smiling and feeling sweet, had made them take a step forward in life. From Monday, both of them started going to the office together. Gradually, household chores began. While Shrikant took care of the household groceries and bills, Saraswati took the responsibility of cooking and managing the house. But Shrikant was the one who prepared the sambar. His sambar tasted the same. There was no barrier between them now. Their honeymoon period was in full swing. While Saraswati would get busy cooking as she returned home from the office, Shrikant would fold the clothes. Then, after dinner, they would get lost in each other's arms. Saraswati was always happy. It had been 3 months since they got married. Both of them had become a part of a certain routine, fulfilling their responsibilities. Saraswati, come quickly, you are staying so late. Shrikant called out from the bedroom at night. Saraswati, washing the dishes in the kitchen, said reluctantly, for some reason, I feel very tired today. I think my periods have probably started. That's why my body feels different. This is a problem every month. Shrikant's statement did not please Saraswati. What are you asking of me? Isn't this what you do? She also replied in response to his answer. As much as office work was tiring for Shrikant, Saraswati was also tiring. Show your threats and arrogance in front of someone else, not in front of me, Shrikant replied to her angrily. Are you talking like this, Shrikant? Stay within your limits. I am your wife. Saraswati also got angry. But Shrikant was in a different mood today. He immediately got up from the bed, grabbed Saraswati's jeans, and pulled them down on the bed. What are you doing? When Saraswati asked loudly, Shrikant slapped her hard on the cheek. Shrikant did not hear a single word she said. He squeezed her body against her will. The whole time he was with her, he was muttering something. When you are in the mood, everything seems fine. But when I am in the mood, why would I drag anyone else when you are here? She had to hear everything from his mouth. The tiny bottle had fallen from her ear, making her heart and brain throb. Satisfying his body's hunger, Shrikant turned his face and slept. After lying there for a while, she went to the bathroom holding her bursting body. She collapsed under the shower. She had been lying there for so long, where she was crying uncontrollably. She was moaning in pain. Whatever gym tone body Shrikant was a fan of, his same body had made her moan in pain. Saraswati, who was moaning, leaned against one end of the bed and slowly leaned there. Tears were still streaming down her cheeks. Saraswati was very scared by that one incident. She had never thought that she could be raped even in her dreams, that too in her own home. Every time when Saraswati was trapped in Shrikant's arms, that hug felt so safe to her. But today's incident was not like love in any way. It was torture, it was revenge. She knew he deserved it. Today she did not have the courage to breathe loudly. She spent that night holding her breath. The incident aroused a kind of contempt in Saraswati. In the morning, she prepared breakfast before Shrikant woke up. How would she face him? She felt that it would be better to finish the kitchen work than to wait for him to wake up. Meanwhile, Saraswati was startled by Shrikant's voice. When she turned around, Shrikant was standing with his face down in embarrassment. He, with a worried expression on his face, said, Forgive me, Saraswati, I know how I behaved with you. It was unforgivable. Did I feel the same way last night? I behaved with you like that. You know about my boss. He humiliated me all day yesterday. Maybe that's why my mind was not under my control. Please, please forgive me. It will never happen like this again, he said. Shrikant kept apologizing until she agreed. Shrikant did not hesitate in apologizing. Trust me, Saraswati, this will never happen again. Shrikant apologized again and she felt that it would be Shrikant's first and last mistake. This time she forgave Shrikant. Saraswati had changed a lot now. Ganga was the first to notice this change in her. What happened to your confidence? She asked. The questions coming from all sides did not change anything in her. Her confidence further eroded. In those days, a boy named Venkatesh joined her office. He was a charming, intelligent boy. Ganga liked him at first sight. Is Venkatesh so handsome? I want to join his team, Ganga said with a smile, and Saraswati also expressed her opinion. By the way, he is smart, but he doesn't have a girlfriend. A boyfriend too. Both friends laughed, saying when Saraswati returned home in the evening, Shrikant did not open the door even though she rang the bell. Saraswati picked up the lock in her bag, opened the door, and went inside. As she entered, she was surprised to see Shrikant sitting on the sofa opposite. Why didn't you open the door even though you were at home? I knew you hadn't come from the office yet, she asked. Before Saraswati could say anything more, Shrikant grabbed her hair and pushed her to the floor. Saraswati was shocked at once. She crouched on the floor. Shrikant's body seemed to have been possessed again. He could not hear her screams or cries. Then he put his hand on her waist and dragged her roughly to the floor and pushed her into the room. Then he untied his pant belt and started swinging at her. Saraswati was terrified. She tried to hold the belt in his hand to protect herself, but it was all a failed attempt. He hit her with the belt 5-6 times, pushed her onto the bed, removed her clothes, and pounced on her like a vulture. Saraswati's sobs, cries, and cries of pain hit the lifeless walls of the room, and she collapsed on the bed. Using all his strength, Shrikant changed his side and slept. She was not sleeping. His breathing was falling in her ears. Saraswati held her breath as much as she could out of fear. She was still very scared. She had lost the courage to even raise her face and speak to Shrikant. She felt helpless and humiliated. The night passed. Saraswati was in no condition to go to the office in the morning. The marks of the belt on her face and body showed his cruelty. Her body was in unbearable pain. Her arms and legs were not in a condition to support her. Every morning when the alarm went off, Shrikant woke up before her. His nightly sleep had subsided. When he suddenly stood in front of her, her face suddenly turned white with anxiety and panic. Her eyes were staring at him with bated breath, but Shrikant's power had subsided. Forgive me, Saraswati, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have raised my hand on you. But what could I have done? You were also wrong in this. I never dreamt that you would give so much importance to Venkatesh, who came just yesterday. I thought you loved me, but you. He spoke accusingly at Saraswati. What are you saying, Shrikant? I love you, she said, hiccuping. I was joking with Ganga, but how did I know that you would think this wrong? She started crying, saying this. What kind of joke is that? I don't like such jokes at all. Do you know how sad I felt after hearing what you two said? He said, frowning. Sparks of anger were still visible in his eyes. Reading the emotion in his eyes and hearing his apology, Saraswati decided to give him a second chance. It is easy to give third, fifth, eighth, 10th chances in love, but breaking up is hard. Girls who grow up in a patriarchal society usually see their own mistakes more than men. Men do not know how to handle relationships, they are not sensitive to women. They are hot blooded, more powerful than women. What else can they do? Women who are affected by this idea find mistakes in themselves. The punishment of forgiving men by thinking them superior to them. This cannot be removed by higher education and high positions. Today, after the beating and rape, Saraswati saw the remorse and tears in Shrikant's eyes and he forgot his pain. Women always cry, but does it seem right when a man cries sometimes? She immediately forgave him. It was her fault. She was in a relationship and had played such a prank on another man. But that day Saraswati could not go to the office. Her condition was not good. She took a day off. After taking medicine, she reached the office the next morning and applied makeup to the bruises on her body. She was outwardly normal, but inwardly she accepted her mistake and forgave Shrikant. However, a kind of fear of Shrikant had taken root in her mind. Because of this, she did not oppose anything he said or argue. A few days passed like this, accepting each and every word he said. But Shrikant's hands were free. If something happened that he did not like, or if he did not get any material immediately, he would raise his hand on her. Sometimes he would shout loudly, other times he would kick her. Sometimes he would throw a plate of tasteless food, and sometimes he would lose his patience by saying, "Are you angry with me?" The personality of a woman who has been abused changes. She becomes confined with herself. Saraswati was also now scared. She was always depressed. "What happened to your self-confidence? Why are you so scared?" Ganga asked. Saraswati had no answer to such questions, but such words were only further weakening her self-confidence. This was a very difficult moment for any literate modern-day girl. She knew that she was trapped in a relationship she shouldn't have been in. But she was not ready to accept that she had become so dependent. This relationship was like a prison for her. Her voice was suppressed there, her body was detached, and her mind too. Even though she was a literate, independent young woman of the 21st century, to whom could she tell that she had come to this situation? It was starting to get hard for her to accept the bold step she had taken against her family as a wrong decision. How could she have the courage to point out the flaws in the relationship she had chosen of her own free will? What would people say to that? "My uncle's son is coming to stay with us for a few days. We need to find him some coaching for his 10th standard," Shrikant said one evening. "Yes, getting coaching here is not a difficult task." Saraswati agreed. "When will he come? Tell me what he likes for lunch." Shrikant's uncle and his son Vikas arrived the very next day. He told them to get along well. Shrikant's uncle left for his village the very next day. Vikas was a bright student of the new age. Within a few days, he realized that Saraswati was very afraid of Shrikant. He realized that she obeyed his every word as if it were a command. It was not difficult for Vikas to know what was going on between the two in the room. But the way Saraswati obeyed Shrikant in front of everyone, ran to him when he shouted, and was startled when he looked up, made Vikas clearly understand that his brother was a tiger and Saraswati was a sheep. One evening, Saraswati came home from the office and was preparing the food. Then Vikas came quietly from behind and shouted, "Saraswati," in a serious tone like Shrikant. Hearing that voice, Saraswati felt that something was wrong with her, which made Shrikant feel bad. She got scared. When she turned around in shock, she saw Vikas in front of her and screamed. Seeing her crying, looking at her with wide eyes, Vikas clapped his hands and said, "I scared you too. I am no less than an elder brother." Saraswati felt confused by Vikas' words. She felt dizzy, wondering if the new generation would also learn the same thing by seeing violence in the house. He had not even been in that house for a month. He had already started developing a low-class attitude. With that thought in mind, Saraswati reluctantly cooked. Shrikant had already come home. She invited everyone to come to the dining table. Shrikant and Vikas came and sat down in the dining hall. Saraswati served them food. Shrikant burst out laughing as soon as he took the first bite. "Does your mother ever put salt in the sambar?" he said, lifting the plate and throwing it at Saraswati. The sharp edge of the steel plate hit her forehead. Blood started dripping from the right side of the forehead of Saraswati. Saraswati ran to the bathroom in panic. There she looked at herself in the mirror. She cried more about her condition than the injury. She felt sorry for herself and even sad. What was he doing to her? This incident, which had happened because of a small negligence, had shaken her to her core. Why was he ruining her life like this? Is this going to happen like this? Till now, this violence and abuse had only happened within the house, between the two of them. Today, it happened in front of a guest. Does that mean that Shrikant will treat her like this in front of anyone who comes to the house? Doesn't she have any respect or dignity? This stage of the wedding became very worrying. The atmosphere was suffocating. She couldn't even breathe, but she had to be alive. Saraswati was starting to become blinded not by love but by fear. Even love had gone away from her a long time ago. Now there was only responsibilities and fear. Because of that, Saraswati was always depressed. But today it went beyond that. Till now she had forgiven Shrikant thinking that she was at fault. But today the matter between the two came out. If he doesn't feel anything about her even in front of a third person, then the future life will be even worse. What can her children learn? What will her status be in society? Despite such a good education and a good job, Saraswati's life is only abuse and beatings. She is always shedding tears. She despises such a life. Is this why her parents taught her to stand on her own 2 feet? Such questions started swirling in her mind. When she came out in the same state, she saw that Shrikant had finished eating. The grains of rice that had fallen on the ground were still there. Seeing her serious condition, Shrikant rushed to her and said, "Oh, you are badly hurt. Saraswati, let's go to the hospital," he called. But Saraswati stopped him right there with a gesture. She left the house alone. She stopped the auto coming in front of her and told her to go to the hospital. She went to the hospital and filled out the form. When the doctor asked her the reason, she said it was domestic violence. She had endured a lot so far. From now on, it was a complete stop to all this. She had moved forward with great expectations in this relationship. Her wish was that her dream, which was growing under the support of her eyelashes, would come true, not a flood of tears. Those dreams did not have to be dashed. Her family also knows about her situation. They can say we had said no earlier. If she had agreed to our words, she wouldn't have been in this situation. They can point out her marriage to a person of a different religion and her love. But the wrong step doesn't mean that there is distrust in love. She is ready to endure any hardship. She is able to stand on her own feet. She doesn't need to be a burden to anyone anymore, and her self respect shouldn't be undermined step by step. Now she needs to take that step. She also has the right to be happy. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.